series just so much better. And I think this Allegiance squad is looking very good thus far from what we've seen today. They're definitely one that's not to be messed with. I mean, they were talking up there on the caster desk with the addition of Sinful. How far can this team go? Is this his chance to really prove himself? From all the way back on Ghosts, he's been sort of that player that we've always just kind of had questions about. He has the drive. Can he just put forward that effort? Can a team give him a chance? Echo Fox last year, obviously a year he wants to forget, comes into this year. This is his chance to try to prove something with the team that he has now and the organization that he has. Echo Fox last year.
More on that Exotic thing. We've seen that Exotic was previously on Allegiance and he was dropped shortly after COD Champs, and we're now seeing the newly formed roster of Allegiance facing off against him on his new roster of compLexity. So I'm interested to see exactly how these two teams face off. We just had a similar rivalry in our last series where it was a TK versus Echo Fox kind of game. So I'm looking forward to see what this game brings for us.
Yeah, definitely rig draft identical on both sides. Just seeing your big three, and then you're just going to have the overdrive going to Royalty and Parasite as well. So I know Allegiance played earlier. I'm not sure if you caught the game. I'm not sure if they ended up winning it, but I know that was who they were playing, and they gave him a run for the money.
Apparently they upset LG, and it was during a series that you and I were casting, and that was because that was at the same time as FaZe versus Gosu. But yeah, Allegiance was able to get actually the first upset of the tournament by taking down Luminosity Gaming, a team that most people would say should be like an S-tier kind of team currently in Infinite Warfare. However, Allegiance showing their strength, they're able to close it out in that best-of-5 series. So curious to see if they can bring that same strength over to this series. I haven't gotten to see Allegiance play too much in Infinite Warfare here. Not really a big group of streamers on their team. So this is really, for me, just kind of my first taste of how their skills might carry over from previous games into Infinite Warfare. Because these are players that certainly have their careers stretching back over multiple COD titles.
Oh yeah, they definitely have. I mean, Sinful's been a guy I've known since Black Ops 2. I've seen him go from being an amateur player who basically never got shots for anything, but both him and Legal actually used to team back in Black Ops 2, and they both have just climbed the ranks to try to get to the rank that they are now. So, I mean, he's, like we said, we bring him up, he has that drive. This is like one of the most motivated guys I've ever seen. If I've ever talked to him, he's always saying, I want to be the best. He puts in the time, he puts in the effort for it. So, like we said, he just needs to try to make it pay off, and I think he's in a good spot with the team that he has right now. But first thing I'm noticing off the rip is going to be a 2-NV4 setup, something that we saw the Gosu crew do. Actually, against FaZe Clan, didn't work out for them in favor, but let's see what these guys are going to be able to do. We know how lethal Mochilla and how lethal Sinful can be. And then on the side of compLexity, you're going to have Parasite, obviously known AR player, going to be running that MV4 as well.
And I like to see Parasite do big things. He's back right at home in his favorite role, which is that anchor AR role. I look to see him, some of his past strengths really shine with the new spawn system we're seeing here in Infinite Warfare. He opens up the game with the death here, has Mochilla on the opposite side, another formidable AR, and he's showing his strength right off the start with 3 kills. I think that Moch is also going to be a dangerous player to watch in this matchup.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He can slay with the rest of them when it comes to using an AR. There's been some times in the past where people say he might slay too much with it and kind of go out of his way to get those kills, but in Infinite Warfare thus far, he's been looking good. Off to a hot start here, currently on a 4th streak, trying to get the 5th, but Llama going to be able to shut him down there with the car bomb. So let's see how this one goes. Players coming off to a hot start is Allegiance, getting close to getting the 30 points and getting majority of the time on this hill so far. Looking at the mini-map, you're going to see the rotations coming in from the players from Allegiance. They were spawning out. Now they're down by stairs. Player I'm going to jump on board with is Royalty, the man with the insane sensitivity. Let's see, we're going to stay on him through the respawn. Let's see what he's going to be able to do.
All right, rotation coming in. Neither team really sticking around too long for that scrap time. It looks like compLexity is going to be the first team on the hard point. Very split kind of push coming in here from ALG. As you can see, we got 1 in the top part of the map, 2 coming in from the bottom, and 1 had already died before these 3 players were even in range of any sort of an engagement. And a lot of free, unanswered time is just going to compLexity right now as Exotic finds his first kill, already has time to set up and get ready for a second engagement, but he chokes shots in what looked like a favorable position because of his slide. He had the right movement, but just not the shots to follow up with it. Now he's going to give that hill right over to ALG.
Definitely is. We're on board with Remy right now. He's going to be inside the hill, able to find one, just being the OBJ player for this team so far on a 3 streak. Sinful on a 2 streak, and then Royalty finally starting to pick things back up on a 2 streak. So now we're going to be rotating back to this Graveyard Hill. This is going to be a very big one. It's kind of like the money hill on retaliation. You see the red arrows spread all across the back, and this is the perfect setup that you want, but they just need to worry about this player that's going to be inside of Hotel, and just like that, he will be cleaned up there by Swirly. So scrap time going to Allegiance, but compLexity can capitalize on this. I don't believe anybody on the side of Allegiance has any streaks, so it's going to come down to pure gun skill to break this hill.
If you take a look at your mini-map, you can see compLexity is just set up so well for this hard point, and all 4 players from Allegiance are flooding in from curve. One gunfight goes down, and it goes in favor of compLexity, who's already set up. That's just going to buy them even more time on the hill and going to take even more pressure off of Exotic, and as soon as he finds it, he's able to respond to it with a 2-piece.
Yeah, he definitely is. Good hold here by compLexity, especially Exotic, just playing it smart in the side of the hill, challenging the gunfights if he absolutely needs to. He's going to push out of the hill, pick up another one, playing towards his streets here. He's getting very, very close to getting that Trinity Rock. He gets the assist. He needs this kill here, but no, he will be shut down by Mochila. That is going to end his streak. No streaks for him. And we're going to be rotating to this back broken now. You see the early rotations coming in from the side of Allegiance. Now the player I'm looking for needs to start heating up a little bit is going to be Royalty, off to a very, very slow start. Looks like he's going to start picking things up at one point, but currently sitting at 2-8, which is shocking.
Yeah, and Royalty is going to be the one taking point in the hard point. I think it's fine because if his other teammates are able to actually shoot back at the moment, you definitely want them as the front line for the hard point, and Royalty just soaking up that time for the team. He's kind of able to act as a backline AR here. One player coming in. Nice long-range shots coming in for Royalty. He's able to connect for his 3rd kill in the game. One flank coming in, finds his 2nd. Another flank, that's going to be Parasite trying to make a hero play here. Heavily outnumbered. He's going to get shut down. Even if Moch didn't find that kill, I have a hard time believing Royalty wouldn't follow it right up. And if you notice, Royalty actually has extended mags in this K-bar. 54 bullets in that magazine. He's actually completely decked out with attachments right now. No perk. Is that no perks?
Yeah, he's running no perks on it. That's something you never see. You don't see this much of like a weapon stack or anything like that, like running extended mags. I mean, it's just unorthodox. I mean, especially, everybody just usually runs what, like attack resist. A lot of people run the black jacket or even dexterity as well. Anyway, we're hopping on board with the players from compLexity. I want to focus up on Llama real quick. He's going to be pushed in here. He's running the laser sight on the K-bar. Another thing that we don't see much, but could be very beneficial to you, especially with the hip fire.
Yeah, and just those iron sights there, they have that little dot there, so you sort of have a pseudo elo or a pseudo red dot sight on it. It's pretty easy to line some shots up with. There are a few players that prefer it, but like you said, most players going with that elo sight and red dot sight. Now Parasite taking the point on Platts, actually going to lose the gun engagement he pre-aimed against Sinful. Llama, Exotic, and Swarly are going to light up your kill feed with red and earn their team some hill time. Not that great of a setup coming in, however, they're still able to spawn out Allegiance all the way up to the top of the map and find some more hill time while they make their way there.
So they definitely do. Something to keep in mind, Llama does have the Scarab. It's not as good in respawn as well. Look at HXD used to be back in Black Ops 3, but it's still usable. Just kind of going back and forth right here as we expect on this lobby hill. Very close game so far. Coming into this one, not really sure what to expect. Like you said, Allegiance, not a big team full of streamers. You barely ever get to see this team scrim unless they're playing somebody of the likes of a FaZe or an Optic Gaming along those lines. compLexity kind of here and there with scrim. You get the POV of Parasite to see how he plays as well. But going back to what we said, Parasite, one of those players, breakout in Black Ops 2, probably his biggest, it's definitely his biggest Call of Duty he's ever had. Played that anchor role. He played it so well. Now we're in a hardpoint game where it's sort of similar to Black Ops 2, probably the best hardpoint game that we have in most recent years. So you can look for him and try to get settled back in like a little home role, playing that slower type AR NV4.
Yeah, and Parasite knows hardpoint like the back of his hand, so he's feeling right at home in on a team of players that will let him play that role. In the old compLexity roster that he had alongside the likes of Nameless, Goonjar, Ricky, all players that have run that assault rifle role in the past, and they were kind of clashing and not working out for him. However, this team, they sort of know their place. They understand that they need to make Parasite happy and let him take that role for him to contribute the most to the team. Royalty, though, coming up in a big way here, finding a 3-piece on that hard point, but it's not actually going to be followed up on. Nothing comes from that play. The hill time still goes right back to compLexity.
And I like this play by Sinful right here, just sitting on top of the balcony, just trying to make something happen. It's going to be one player we can see through the X-ray. He's going to be up in construction. See what he's going to be able to do here. One player moves in. That's going to be Royalty onto the hill. Sinful's going to be there to pick it up. Another player in lobby. Nice turn there by Sinful, taking out Llama. And now the push is going to be coming in from Bike Shop, spawning the players all the way on the bottom side of the map. You can see the red arrows. That is compLexity. Allegiance has full control of this hill so far.
Yeah, and with Sinful in this power position on plat, they need to target him soon, but it's such an awkward target to hit, especially if he's able to pop rewind and get right back into the fight. One player on scaffolding isn't going to be enough. That's player 5 on your mini-map, Exotic. He's going to back up. Oh, he's actually going to try and challenge us and take that scrap time from them, or not scrap time, that chunk of time from them. And it looks like Allegiance actually completely backed away from him, and they're going to give it right up.
Yep, and there's going to be a player spawning right on top of that player that was back there. Now this the graveyard gunfight was going to be a huge one. It was actually going to be Remy falling to the hands of Parasites, and now compLexity once again. We saw it last time. They had control of this Grave Hill. They have control of it once again. Parasite going to be inside. Now this can work out for him, having the MV4 in the hill. Just doing exactly this, hitting the wall runs, but if you get melted like that, I guess it's not going to work out too well.
Yeah, Moach read that play like a book.
I like the idea of it. That's the point of it. If you just try to get up on there, but like you said, Mochilla read that, took him out so quickly, and just like that, Allegiance about to break the 200-point mark. We're on board with Mochilla is going to be inside of the hill. Excellent slaying all around from Allegiance, making compLexity players spawn so far out. And obviously with this the recent update, it's so good to finally see teams get rewarded for these good setups.
Yeah, and Moach taking full advantage of that. He knows he finds those 2 kills. That's going to relieve some pressure for him for about the next 10 seconds. 20 seconds left on the hardpoint before we rotate back down to Broken. And Moach is not slowing down in the slightest, tagging up a player and getting an assist. As his team shot comes in, another engagement comes on the hardpoint, but Moach isn't losing anything right now on a 5 streak, topping the scoreboard in terms of KD at the moment. Moach is hot right now.
It's all that Dance Dance Revolution. I heard that he was at the end game just doing the Dance Dance Revolution, so you know he's feeling good coming into this one, shattering probably every high score that anybody here in Vegas probably could never beat, just to throw that out there. But he's finally going to be shut down. Was not able to get any streaks off of that, but went on a pretty nice streak for himself. Overdrive is going to be ready for Royalty if he does opt to use it. Does get taken out inside of the hill. Sinful going to be right there to pick it back up. Going to be one player challenging from the backside. It's going to be Llama. See what he's going to be able to do. Just needs to flood in. He's going to be able to get one. The pinch is coming in from the rest of compLexity teammates. One going to be sitting in the back of the map. It's going to be Remy picking up a huge two-piece. And then he will be taken out. So 243 to 158. compLexity going to be able to pick up the last 20 seconds off this hill.
Parasite here, sitting pretty in the hard point, but not pretty for too long as 4 ALG members swarm every entrance of Broken. They still get 3 kills on the ALG, though. Trying to find the last one. It's Moach who's able to answer the 2-piece before finally being traded by Llama. So that last push from ALG was unsuccessful. However, they're still 7 seconds from winning this game. Whoever's on the hard point needs to get off of it now and rotate over the hallway. Otherwise, ALG is going to close it out right here and now.
A complete lack of rotation is coming off of that hill. Now
What
Remy is going to have the reactive
play?
arm. He's going to go ahead and pop it. Is he going to be able to get anything from it? Yes, he's able to find one. His teammates are there to help. 250 to 178. Allegiance is going to take out compLexity here on Retaliation hardpoint.
I don't agree with staying on the scrap time for that long when you absolutely need to be there on the initial time of this final hardpoint when they're so close to winning. Because all Allegiance has to do if they want to for that hardpoint is just keep flooding it, just keep throwing bodies at it. As long as they're there first, they're doing what they need to do. In compLexity, they had to come up on that push 3 versus 4. A very disadvantageous situation. ALG bites right down on that weakness and ends the game.
Yeah, they definitely do. So we're going to be heading into Search and Destroy next. Get the map right here for you guys. It's going to be on Scorch. Something we've slowly started to fall in love with. That is sarcasm as I say that because it's just a B-bomb site hit every single time.
Well, Scorch S&D, yeah, makes some interesting, makes for some very repetitive plays towards the B-bomb site. Most teams favoring that. However, there are some instances, like in actually the last series we saw, TK actually started off the game going A, and it's just sort of, you can play mind games with the opponent by actually going A, because no one ever realizes it, because most teams just stack B. If you can catch them off guard, you know, just some teams might not have that sort of heads-up shot calling to say, hey, they've taken this long and they still aren't at this certain point of the map. Maybe they're going A, and then they'll send one person back towards Turbine or something to contest it. And it's definitely a hard site to hit, but if you're able to do it successfully, then that's certainly going to flush to your opponents.
Yeah, it's just super hard to hit because, I mean, it's so easy to watch, right?
Yeah.
All you need is an MV4 player just watching the long haul, get somebody with like a K-bar pushed up by the wall run, just sitting behind the corner. You're going to be able to catch them almost every time. I mean, those are the 2 main entry points. Other than that, you got to try to flush through mid-map and then head into factory and then try to make your way in, but that's always going to be watched. There's going to be somebody there at all times. So like you said, basically what we're going to see is B pushes. You're going to see a lot of trophy systems. You're going to see a lot of the flechette grenades, and then you're going to see the bomb carrier get straight onto that bomb and then just immediately start planning that. Usually they kind of sit on the bomb, just be a distraction, kind of get that call out. You sit there and you're like, oh, this player's not going to peek me or something like that, and then you can easily surprise them. So it's just all about the positioning and winning those gunfights. It just kind of gets to a point where the defensive team will end up start to flood that site, flood that drill area, and just kind of overwhelm the offensive side. So you'll also see on defense on this, you see a lot of flanks coming around. I think every single time I see it, it's a two-man flank pushing through long haul to back rock. It's something that's been very successful. I saw when FaZe did it, it worked out for them. Cloud9 attempted the same thing. They were able to just get some trades. It didn't do too much to really sway in their favor. But I've just been waiting to see if anybody has a good, like an A push. Is there any sort of successful way? Nobody's utilizing smoke grenades.
Here's the thing. An okay A push is about as good as it's going to get. It's really difficult to execute on that side unless you have like a man advantage or the enemy team has someone that doesn't have someone watching mid, and but that's incredibly unlikely, right?
Yeah.
So it's such a hard site to play because you can just get. We saw it with FaZe earlier when they tried to rotate over to A. They just got caught and shot in the back on the wall run, and Abel, who had the bomb, was hitting the wall run. It fell off the map, and then everybody that got over to A for FaZe had to run back to their spawn to pick up the bomb when it respawned. So it's a really tough site to hit.
Yeah, it is, and like I said, I wish people would try experimenting with smoke grenades. I mean, I know they're not the greatest thing in this game, but it's just all like a testing process. I mean, maybe in the future we'll see more A hits somehow. But something to bring up too, Parasite going to be using the FTL jump and the power slide. Something with the power slide, once that's selected, that kind of ruins like the movement system that players use. With the little like jump crouch going thing, the power slide kind of messes that up. So you kind of get around the map slower compared to anybody else on your team. The FTL jump and search and destroy is something that it's not 100% likely, but it can work out in your favor. You're in a 1 versus 1. You decide you have your FTL jump, boom, you teleport forward. It completely throws the other person off as well.
It can certainly help with those drill rushes, right?
Yeah, so that's what Parasite is running. So heading into this map number 2, it's going to be Allegiance up 1-0 over compLexity.
So we're seeing the sniper play come out of Mochila. I would imagine we see him go either towards medic or to, there are actually lots of long lines of sight he can hold here. He's actually decked out with attachments on that KSG. 4 different attachments there. I'm curious to see what lane he decides to hold with this. I think that it could benefit him to maybe go into medic window and just try and pre-aim towards rock side. But really the world is his oyster at this moment. It just depends on where the rest of his team feels comfortable on this map on defense.
I've yet to see anybody snipe on this map so far, so I'm actually interested to see. So we're just going to stick on board Mochila as soon as this starts.
Also some nice wall runs that you can hit towards the long wall run, towards hallway. So you can look over that and look towards mid-map and everything. So I'm really curious to see how creative he gets here with the movement system and with the sniper in this map. So let's definitely start on board with him.
What I'm wondering if maybe he pushes mid and he hits a mid wall run to try to get the peek over on the rock to see if they can see anybody in security or anything like that. So it's definitely going to be interesting to say the least. There's always a chance too he pushes into observation and just kind of hard scopes and just watches that security area as well. But he's just gonna get these little jumps. He's gonna miss the first shot of his snipe. Somebody is gonna be on B site. I don't know if he actually saw that, but bomb is already going down. It's going to be Exotic.
Who just jumped in front of him while he was sniping? Someone just stood in front of him and watched the exact same line of sight that he was scoped in on. Moch, though, is able to find a pick. Kills going back and forth, but it looks like we're going to see ALG come out on top as all 4 players for compLexity fall. And I think that Moch's positioning right there, despite his teammate for some reason completely blocking him with it, was to watch for the rush, because so many teams, as we said, will rush that B bomb site, just head on, just go straight for it, and Moch is just trying to catch someone off guard with a one-shot kill from the sniper. So he actually whipped his shot, but I can see the thought process and how beneficial it can be to sit towards medic, which is what I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the thing. I'm not sure if he saw the player who actually ended up sliding onto the B site. I mean, that's just probably Call of Duty timing going in his favor. But it's going to be Allegiance on the offensive side of things. It's going to be Sinful, going to be in control of the bomb. And like you see, never seen this on defense before. Players getting so aggressive. Llama going to be the one pushing out, picking up a nice 2-piece, getting close to that rewind already. And we are only in round number 2. Laser sight on the O's. That can be a dangerous thing. He's going to be able to find that player. Can he get the last one to get the ace? No, it's going to be Remy left last alive, and he will be taken out. And I like the aggressiveness there on defense. It's something that you need to do to try to combat a B push on Search and Destroy on Scorch.
Yeah, especially if they give up a lot of map pressure by not pushing like that hard. You get an advantage on them by taking control of security, or even just getting an OSA in their face in security. That just becomes a really difficult choke point to respond to. So if you can get control of the enemy side of drill, then that's huge for you for the rest of the round.
It definitely is. So let's see if compLexity changes anything up. We're going to see 3 players going in towards A. Actually, it looks like 2 are cutting towards mid, 1 towards B. This B side is completely wide open right now to try to get this bomb down. Trophy system going to go into place. Bomb going down immediately. It's going to be Exotic being the OBJ here. See what's going to be able to happen. First blood did go in favor of compLexity, and that's going to be Royalty falling first.
So Llama knows there has to be someone just around the corner for him, but he's waiting for his team's support before he challenges. You can see where the communication is coming from here. Now that the first gunfight's gone down, Llama knows he has time to go ahead and peek something. He gets challenged and he's able to win. That's going to be the laser sight on the OSA. So we're seeing players adapt to the recent weapon balances going towards some of these ARs. And one of the bigger things from the patch notes was that we saw hip fire accuracy being decreased. The laser sight, of course, sort of combats that. And if you're playing close choke points like that with the OSA, very beneficial to you as a player.
Oh, it's absolutely insane. I mean, it's just something that I would like to see more on with players who are using these ARs to kind of throw a laser sight on. It can be very, very beneficial. I think even in respawn, it could be even more. But
There is actually running a sub with a laser sight for specific lanes that he was hitting earlier on in the tournament. It's of course going to be like close range stuff specifically. But interesting to note there. So, of course, another B-side hit. A lot of what you can expect to see here on this map is a B-side hit on offense, and Sinful's able to get that bomb site and is awarded with some stellar positioning inside Medic. He's actually going to push all the way through, though, and get traded by Exotic. So now it's a 1 versus 2, Royalty versus Llama, and Exotic sort of tossing some nades, a spot check. He can't use this split check grenade right now and give his position away, but he fires some shots and whiffs a couple, so Llama's going to punish him for it and end the round.
compLexity looking very good here in this search and destroy, and it's led by Llama. 7-2 currently on a 2-kill streak, has his rewind, getting very, very close towards the streaks, giving us a nice little salute here in the last kill cam, well, the round end. See him in your final kill cam here, helping out his teammate, taking out Royalty, who was laying down on the bomb. I was wondering why, oh, okay, yeah, I was just wondering, I sat there, I was like, why is he just prone on that side? He could have been on the other side, like using the bomb to his advantage or something like that, but he just didn't want to give his positioning away.
Yeah, I just didn't like the way that ALG played the rest of that round at all after they got the bomb plant. It just looked really sloppy. Sinful jumping towards mid-map, the bomb planter just sitting, you know, laying down in front of it. It was a really odd way to play the site defense after the plant. But look at the middle map here. We're seeing a 2-man push from compLexity down middle, and this is what we were talking about earlier. If they leave mid open, someone can bite down on it, and that's Parasite, who uses the OSA and is able to take down Royalty in that close range engagement. Now, like we said before, ALG is able to read this play, understand that it's an A hit, wrap back through their base, and try and play for the retake. However, at that point, they're at such a huge man disadvantage, it's going to be hard to respond to. compLexity takes another round.
I think the biggest thing from compLexity is right now they're doing stuff that Allegiance probably hasn't seen on Search and Destroy Scorch. Every single time they're kind of mixing it up. They're the only team that I've seen just throw these wacky defensive plays out, sending 3 people on the flank, sending people up mid-map, sending 2 up mid-map to try to go to a site to completely open it up too. So compLexity's not sticking to the book with this one. I think that's the biggest part, the reason that they're having success.
I've seen a lot of OSA play this game here. I think a lot of the first bloods have come from the OSA. I think the OSA's a real bear of a gun.
Yeah.
Those of you that speak Spanish understand my joke. And, you know, I'm just going to pretend that all 10 of you are laughing at that joke. OSA is Spanish for bear. Oso. No, it's OSA. Something like that. Anyway, getting into the rest of the round here, we're seeing a 7-kill streak on the side of compLexity. That's Llama that's able to do it. 2 versus 2 situation now. Royalty trying to run for his life here. Exotic's going to catch him, though, just as he runs out of Warehouse, and now it's left on a 1 versus 1. Remy versus Exotic. If Exotic gets this kill, it's actually really big for him because of how close he is to his payload.
Yeah, that's going to be the reactive armor, so that's going to be huge. So Remy has 43 seconds to work with, see what he's going to be able to do. Left last alive. I think this is the 3rd time that he's been left last alive in these sort of situations. Clock is ticking down. Needs to make a choice. Is he going to go to B or is he going to go to A? Currently just playing in this back lava pipes area. He's going to opt to push out to this catwalk. Favoring the B side, Exotic. He's going to be positioned over here by Bridge, just watching the back lab. Remy should be able to get this bomb down. He has 15 seconds.
Okay, OSA is a female bear. Cool. Just I had to double check. I haven't been in Spanish since high school, man. I needed to make sure that was right. Just seeing the bomb plant go down for Allegiance. Just a few seconds left for him to do it. Remy knows that this is the only play he can make at the moment. Now he's got to play 1 versus 1. Exotic has a general idea as to where he's at. But Remy playing his corners is able to give him the slip. As you can see, they both run right by each other. Dead silence not really giving anything away to either team. There we go. Spots him on Moon. Remy's actually going to decide to get aggressive on this one. Okay, he's going to back off now that he sees that Exotic just continues running through. He knows that Exotic has no clue where he's at. He just checked all of Moon. So Exotic is really just running through his routine spot checking at the moment. And now that he's done, such an awesome way to play this 1v1 from Remy here. If you could,
don't choke it. Don't choke.
Okay, there we go. So he knew that Exotic, once he was done checking Moon, he knew exactly how long it was going to take. He makes that pathing through mid to get behind him so that as soon as he's finished, he gets the timing of being right behind Remy to where he gives up with the chase.
That was close for Remy. He was a couple shots away from that defuse coming in.
Yeah. It was looking scary.
I would have felt bad for him. I had that same thing happen to me before. It's not a pretty sight. You get yelled at by your teammates. I don't know if his does the same, but look at Llama fully streaked out, has that rewind to work with, so they can obviously play this B site out in the open if they want to utilize these streaks in this one. Let's see what he's going to do. Sitting here watching the flank. He's actually going to have Parasite in this back lab area too. He's going to spot this player in the mid cut, get the timing go in his favor. You're going to see, I believe these are the Scorchers. They'll be called in.
I'm going to get him. There we go, catches him. I don't think he had no way of knowing that player was going to push through mid into the cave towards rocks. So he thought it was a good time for him to call in his streaks. He ends up finding a free kill from it. Llama currently 12-3. Definitely one of the better S&D players in the lobby. I think he showed his stock in this game mode all throughout Advanced Warfare. Really impressed a lot of people with his time under that Isolation Empire roster. Parasite's able to take down Remy. Let's see if he's traded for it. Is there someone just around the corner on drill? Llama, no. Punishing that right away. Mochilla thought he had an opportunity. Llama shut that down real quick. Now it's going to be a 1 versus 3. Royalty not able to do it. compLexity is 1 round away from winning this game, and Llama is just solo carrying at the moment. Really having a star player performance for his team right now.
And they still have all these streaks utilized as well. Obviously, he pinged his Scorchers, so he's not going to be able to ping those once again, but you can just kind of get a general idea of where the other players are going to be. And when you call them in, the first initial reaction from the enemy team is just going to be, I need to run inside a building. So it completely opens up the site for you. Right? I mean, you could even just call the Scorchers in outside of the map, and it would still have him have a heart attack.
Looks like Exotic is still just a kill away of getting his reactive armor. You want to see him get in the face of the enemy team here and pull that off. But there's no really reason to do it though. If we have Llama fully streaked out, they definitely have Allegiance playing scared, but there it is, a swarm of Allegiance players surrounding Parasite, and they're able to find a kill for it. Llama though calling in that Trinity Rock is able to find himself a kill, and he's going to hit wall run for the flank here. He's so far away from player 2 on your mini map. That's Swarly. That not much is going to come from this if they're able to chase him down just like that. And Sinful does it, puts him away, and now that gives Allegiance free reign and just go and plant at A. We're actually seeing the R3K in the hands of Royalty, so I expect to see him plant this and maybe sit towards hallway and get a good line of sight, but he actually plants for looks like the inside of warehouse instead.
I mean, we saw the R3K being used at the beginning of Infinite Warfare, a lot in search and destroy tournaments and stuff like that, but it's a gun that I've even seen Royalty pull out in scrims and like a respawn as well. It's just one of those things that's never going to work out, so you shouldn't really try it. You'll be able to maybe pick up 1 kill or 2 with it, but then again, like when you're going up against MV4s and K-bars, it's not going to go very good for you.
And again, we're seeing there that weapon's just decked out with attachments. He had 5 attachments on the R3K. He still does. So the style that we saw him carrying out throughout the hardpoint is going through in this search and destroy as well with this R3K class. I think he wants to just be able to one burst something and move on, right? So,
yeah.
But at that point, when do you say, hey, why not just use a sniper, right?
Exactly. He's got the sensitivity for a sniper. Let's just put it that way. Just curious to see what he's going to be able to do. As R3K is going to spot 1. He's actually going to be able to pick up Parasite with that. 2 players left on the side of compLexity. They're going to be able to take down the man count on the side of Allegiance. It's going to be Swarly taking out Sinful. Shots being tagged up on his own teammate. We'll hop on board with Llama. See what he's going to be able to do here. Still has that rewind to work with. Going to be right next to his teammate over by B. Site is completely open. He's playing very, very slow, very cautious, and the man count is now evened up thanks to Swarly.
There it is. Close range engagement. He's still able to come out on top. Thanks to that high damage from the R3K. Puts Swarly away before he can really do anything about it. Llama, though, again, coming through with the trade. He's been doing quite a bit of that this game. As you can see, the man has 16 kills, quadruple positive, and now he's left in a 1 versus 1. If he wins this one, he closes out the map. But he's got to put the bomb down. A little bit of timing there, as Remy's not able to catch him around that corner. He's going to run over to A site instead.
Yep, and he might be able to rewind out of this if any shots do get tagged up.
Rewind!
And that's exactly what he's going to do. See what Llama is he going to be able to do this? just run away.
And
Smart
there it
play
is.
there by Llama. Now everything is, for a round that looked like it was just going to completely go to Allegiance, that's the biggest thing that payloads can do for you, right? It just completely turns the entire round around. I hate myself.
Please, can someone please turn Dirk's mic down? Like just mute it. Just all the way down, please.
So Remy's still trying to make something happen, but Llama with the rewind play is going to win that one. And what a monster game we saw from him. 17-4, had one plant and one defuse as well. And he's going to make it into your final kill cam right here, sneaking up behind Remy. And like we said, everything was just so thought out. As soon as he knew a shot was going to be tagged into him, that rewind came in. Series now going to be tied up 1-1.
Huge game coming out of Llama God for compLexity there. Always there for the trade for his teammates. And really just a huge factor in general, as you can see, just getting way more kills than everyone else on the server, just solo carrying that match. And Exotic, of course, having a good showing despite having to be the bomb carrier for most of that game, getting himself 3 different plants. So, awesome matchup there. Out of compLexity, that search and destroy game is going to be another win for them. They're up 2-0 in the series, I believe. No, 1-1. Excuse me, I'm sorry, because we did see Allegiance take that first hardpoint. How can I forget that powerful performance out of mochillo on retaliation hardpoint? So we're going to get into map number 3, which is throwback uplink. And I think that if we see a performance anything like map 1 out of mochillo, and if we see Royalty kind of step it up from what we saw on hardpoint to play like his normal self, at least his form, considering his form in Black Ops 3, I think we could see ALG actually run away with this uplink as well. But you got to wonder, when is compLexity going to come to life here? This ALG roster is looking really strong this weekend.
Yeah, they definitely are. Woo. I don't know why I'm yawning. This time zone stuff got me messed up. But anyway, in uplink, I'm like a lost puppy when it comes to these two teams. One, like we said, we haven't really seen them scrim too much. 2, teams don't tend to scrim uplink a whole lot. They maybe just run through a couple maps as well. But
teams will start their hardpoint series and then move into uplink.
Yeah.
Kind of,
well, I mean, sometimes you get to the point where they get to the end of the hardpoint and like, oh, I don't feel like scrimming anymore. Let's get a new scrim or something. So, I mean, like we said, Allegiance kind of keeps everything under the radar in terms of their practices and what they do.
It's also that hardpoint is such a big deal this year because, you know, if you can just master hardpoint in S&D, you're pretty good in a best-of-5 series. You really need to have an incredible map pool, both of those game modes, though. So you don't really want to put all your eggs in one basket. But I think that this year definitely does highlight the importance of hardpoint in S&D in these best-of-5 series.
Oh yeah, it definitely does. Going to be a big part. I mean, it's one of the reasons why we look at some of these teams and we know how slay heavy they are and how good they are just as a whole. And we just kind of sit there and we just wonder, like, if this is going to be such a good year for these guys, but it hasn't been looking like that for some teams. You see some teams that are favored in hardpoint have been starting to crumble under the pressure of everything like that. So, uplink throwback is going to be the map. The rig draft is in play. Everything just pretty standard and routine. Just going to be curious to see how this one goes down, what weapons are going to be used. Are we going to see the R3K for Royalty come out in this one? Are we just going to see any NV4s, or is this all going to be K-Bars and OSA?
We are seeing the Shockwave on the side of compLexity with reactive armor as the trait. So that should be interesting to see how that the Shockwave mechanic comes into play here.
So hopping into this one at the lovely 66-second countdown.
So if you want to flip through some of these players, we're seeing K-Bars and MV4s on both sides. A little bit of OSA. No R3K this time. Royalty's put that away. You saw him pull it out for a round or two in the Search and Destroy last map. Can we look at Royalty's class? I just want to see how many attachments he's got this time. All right, cool. 5 attachments on the K-Bar again this game. Royalty kind of showing that he really likes stacking his weapon with attachments rather than running, you know, the usual blast suppressor, tac mask, or tac resist, excuse me. Dead silence that we see a lot of players run. He prefers having 5 and 6 attachments on his primary and no secondary.
Yeah, it's sort of like people always talk about like the perk balance, and are perks really a necessity? I mean, there's some that are kind of like a crutch perk. There's other ones you don't really need.
Are we seeing trophies on the side of ALG?
No trophies.
Well, this is uplink, so I wouldn't expect them to really run trophies, but that could just be something that's exploitable by the side of compLexity. Just make sure they're throwing those tacticals and those lethals if they're not running all the perks they need.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to start off this map number 3 with mochillo, the man who did so much in hardpoint for this squad. Let's see what he's going to be able to do. He's going to be tagged up immediately by a foot grenade. Not going to be able to do much right here. Going to tag a player up in the top bridge area. Parasite going to draw first blood. That one's going to be on Remy, and already 2 down for the side of Allegiance and make that 3.
3 players fall. Parasite and Exotic in a great position with the drone to run this straight through Grandma's and set up for the rally if they can get the spawn trap going. Exotic, though, is actually not going to run it through Grandma's. He's going to hit the wall run and go through mid. Kind of questionable because that just gave Moch a free, just all 3 of them lining up. That gives him a free triple kill.
Yep.
I would have preferred the pathing with the drone to go through Grandma's there. I think that would have worked out a bit better for them.
You're going to see the Allegiance arrows start to take over the map control, but there's going to be a spoil to this party, and it's going to be Llama once again pushing through this bridge side. Now going up to top green with the Osa. Should be able to win this gunfight very, very easily, but no, he's going to be shut down at the hands.
Moch is hot right now in the series.
He's going to get the drone. You're going to see a lot of the teams just start to favor this bowling side. It's really the side that you want to control. It's going to benefit you greatly. It's how you can get a spawn trap and a very, very good relay going. You see Royalty trying to do everything he can to try to make something happen, and it's going to be Mochilla dunking it in.
All right, Mochilla getting 2 points on the board on a 4 streak at the moment. This extended mag K-bar is really doing him well. Staying alive in the enemy base. He's going to run out of bullets here soon. Just 24 left in his mag. Expect to see him pick something up off the enemy team's dead body. He's 50 away from being fully streaked out. And that could be huge for his team if he wins this engagement. There it is, sticking on board with his great positioning. He's able to find himself fully streaked out, and another drone opportunity that's failed at the last second. compLexity with the base defense finds themselves with 3 kills and an opportunity to reset that drone and get back to middle map. But they know they have to clear out Sinful here. Exotic is the one to do so. So now they need to keep their mid-map pressure up. 2 players pushing up straight through bowling. Remy's still able to answer to at least one of them. But Royalty and Mochilla still find kills. So compLexity, what looked like a good push when they were able to kill Sinful, was turned right back around, and Royalty has an opportunity to throw for a 1-point play. Whiffs it. So it looks like compLexity should be able to just take this, throw it out of the map.
It looks like they're actually just going to play from their base and try to make something happen here, pushing it through the blue side. Underneath to win these gunfights, it's going to be Mochilla. Once again, spoiling the party. There's going to be 1 player left up, and Exotic has no choice but to just throw it outside of the map. It's a smart reset, but it didn't actually go outside of the map. It bounced back in.
Oh no, this is huge for ALG. 2 players just in front of him on the opposite side from compLexity. He's actually going to decide to wrap back. The spawns ended up working in favor of them. It seemed like they spawned like right up on top of the point and sort of towards bowling. So they should be able to respond to this pretty easily. Even with Moch's 2-piece, we're seeing Parasite and Spoiler respond, and that drone is reset. Nothing's coming from that play.
Yeah, it definitely isn't. Royalty just going to go ahead, throw the drone in top ticket. Just trying to play for his life while he waits for his teammates to come back and for the support. 1 player challenging right here, gets a slide, is going to be able to take out Exotic. 1 more player jumping through the window. That is going to be Llama. Now look for the push from compLexity to come from this left side. Throws the drone forward for yards to get out his weapon. All
right, so Llama just trying to play for some map control here with his team. He knows he's kind of alone. He has the OSA, and he doesn't have the attachments on his gun for these long-range gunfights. So he's actually going to try and take it to mid-map and apply a little bit more close-range pressure and let his NV4 take that position. So it's good to see these roles coming into play. You saw Parasite, how much better and like how much more advantageous of a situation he was in with the NV4 there. He found himself on a 6 streak, and he gave the rest of his team the ability to push up and get this 2-point play.
Yep, and they're in a good position here with Exotic sitting in the back of the enemy base, right below the goal. He's going to be able to try to make something happen here. They could get a little rally going, but they need to get that middle map control. You see it's completely wide
know he's
open.
Here.
They need to get that player out of this top green area. That's Sinful. He's going to have the MP4 in hand. He's going to be able to find one. Can he find a second? Shots are going to be tagged up on him, but the drone, once again, going to be picked up by Swirly and tossed forward for yards, but now it's going to be 3 down for the side of Allegiance. Remy's going to be running this one.
Yeah, I'm surprised compLexity wasn't able to capitalize on the fact that Exotic was on that flank right there. He died, and then so did everyone else on compLexity mid-map. They all got wiped. There's a turnover. Remy brings it in, finds himself a 2-point play, and ALG in the lead. 35 seconds remaining in this first half before the players switch sides. And ALG was able to respond very well, making a point off of that turnover. And now they're in a position to rally here. They got compLexity force spawned out towards blue. They have to cut through mid if they want to stop this at all. Mochilla towards middle map though, or towards barn though, trying to stop the flank. 1 more middle map. compLexity's able to find the kills. That's exactly the pressure they needed. Great overextension coming in from compLexity towards mid-map.
Well, let's see if compLexity can just finish this one off on a good note and try to get this last throw. The drone is going to go right under the goal, and it's going to be picked up by the players from ALG, and it's going to be Allegiance going up 6-3 after 1 round of uplink play.
Allegiance is looking pretty good. If you just look at Moch's POV and no one else's, it's really impressive to me how Moch is playing in this series right now. Overall, Allegiance is looking fine. It sounded like I was taking shots at them, but no, they're playing fine in this series. Just Moch is really Really standing out to me for his consistency throughout the series here and what he's contributing to the team.
Yeah, it's just right there at the very end. It's he had such a good read of the spawns too. Like they were getting this relay going, and he just knew that the players weren't coming around. He went all the way back to barn because he knew that they were going to start overextending. So it just shows the knowledge that he has, especially in a game mode
just
like
got team
Uplink.
killed. Llama just got team killed. He was on such a favorable position to take down Moch, getting in his face right when he needed to reload. A little bit of a miscommunication there as the flechette grenade comes in and takes him out. You would think that they would like know exactly who's going to be throwing what grenades in their opening breakout there. That team kill is inexcusable. So here we are. Moch able to push up, find himself a kill, and see if Moch had died here, if he didn't get that team kill, Moch wouldn't have streaks right now. Moch wouldn't be alive on Lemon right now, and they wouldn't have this just wall of an AR player in their face.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be Royalty in control of the drone. Is he trying to go for the 1-point toss over here? Oh, trying to get a little sneaky, but the interception is going to come in there from Parasite. He's going to be running out of the map. He is going to end up getting killed from being outside of the map for too long, but the drone is going to be reset. So nonetheless, see what they're going to be able to do here. Trinity Rocket is ready for Sinful if he does opt to use that one. Remy just going to toss the drone forward. Not going to be able to get anything to come of that.
Moch pushing up towards middle map here. He's got one teammate behind him, but not really in range to do much. That's Sinful right now that actually has his payload available. Not sure if this is the situation where he wants to pop it, but lots of mid-pressure coming in from compLexity. Sinful and Royalty are able to answer back with something. However, Parasite in position is going to respond right back to it. And ducking down so he can stay alive for his team, give them some time to come off spawn. He finds 2 kills. Awesome positioning and pathing out of Parasite there to make the most of his life and buy compLexity some time.
This is the Parasite you need game in and game out. He needs the MV4 in his hands. This is what he's most comfortable with. He doesn't need any other AR. Get him the MV4. He's just that smart of a player, and we have to give him huge credit for that. He knows what situations to put himself in and which gunfights to contest. He plays the range perfectly with it, and it's exactly what you need. We see him time and time again in getting this middle map control for the side of compLexity. Now we're going to see him trying to push out here to try to make something happen on the drone. It's going to be taken out. Exotic going to be left last alive. Sinful and crew are going to start to push out through this blue side.
We're seeing the drone wrap towards blue side. Not the most popular way to take the drone, just because it's so difficult to kill the enemy team and then have them spawn up right in front of you again. You see most teams just favoring that bike path side of the map, and you can kind of see why here. It fails and it's overturned. We see the turnover, 1-point play coming in. Actually, I think he might have just been throwing that for distance, but they're not able to connect with anything just yet. And it looks like Allegiance is able to clear out the base with little to no problems, and they're going to bring the drone back over to blue side anyway.
And we're starting to see some payloads coming into play here too. Royalty is going to have to be overdriving all lethal that can be. Remy going to go ahead and toss the drone outside, but now Parasite does have overdrive as well, so that's something to keep in mind. If they can start to slay out of the base a little bit, get the drone to Parasite, get him to pop that overdrive, he can maybe get a 1-point play. Obviously, you want to try to get a 2. Let's see what they're going to be able to do here. The defensive stop trying to come in from Royalty will be taken out there by Llama. 4 down for Allegiance. Things are looking good for compLexity. Now, when you get 4 down, you need to start thinking of trying to get this relay going. And the side they're attacking from, it's going to be hard to do that.
So there's a dunk. This game just got a little bit closer here as compLexity is only trailing by 1 point here. That's just 1 possession, and Llama has access to the Scarab. Not really too useful here when we get an uplink, just considering how much coordination is required from teammates having their gun up. You already have 1 player that has the drone in their hand, and if you call someone out with the Scarab, that's just another gun down. It's a really difficult situation to be in, but we'll see if they can make it work. Parasite's pushed up onto bus side, but he gets traded just after he finds 1 kill. compLexity not able to really follow up on his player positioning at all, as Royalty and Remy just shut out the rest of the players on the side of the map.
If they can get Parasite into a good position, I mean, just by slaying out, and Parasite himself can slay out, they're going to be in a good position to at least tie this game up. He still has overdrive to work with, and he needs to use it in this final minute of the game, because it's going to be absolutely huge. Drone going to be positioned right on front of green. Is he going to be able to get this kill? Yes, he does now. Drone in his hands. Will he pop the overdrive? That's the question. He's going to be able to get 1 beat down. 43 seconds left to work with. Just trying to figure out, just following his teammates, making sure he has that support. The overdrive needs to be popped soon.
They all went towards blue side. Parasite looked like he was trying to set up for a play towards mid. Maybe it's some sort of a miscommunication, or they didn't expect Parasite to stay alive around the drone, but that looked like a really disorganized play there, and something that Parasite was trying to set up, and it just ended up not working out for him.
It looked like a lot of miscommunication. You saw him just kind of, hey, should I run bottom steps? Where should I go? And they decide to wrap all the way back to the tunnel. But now you're going to see Allegiance just playing the time. I mean, basically what they're going to do is if he gets shot, he's just going to toss a drone out of the map for a fresh reset, and that is going to be the game. Allegiance is going to take this one 6-5, going up 2-1 in this best-of-5 series.
Allegiance one map. I'm sorry, my big head, my headset like just slipped off. But anyway, Allegiance one map away from closing the series out here. Ending the uplink with another great performance from mochilla. On the opposite side, we see compLexity. I think what is probably a really frustrating game for Parasite is I think that he played. There were so many situations where you could see that he was trying to set up a play, and it just wasn't working out for him. There was no one else to follow up the positions that he was in. When they would get these kills, they weren't able to capitalize on that. They weren't able to get that map pressure and force the objective, and that's got to be really frustrating for someone that was doing so well.
Yeah, and now we're going to be heading into Breakout Hardpoint. Let's see how this one does play out. One of my favorite hardpoint maps. It's just it's going to be another one of those great things where the NV4 player getting them to those power positions in top laundry and security, even throwing them into the hill once we get to the cell block as well. So, like I said, compLexity, you're going to need a big game from Parasite in this one.
Hopping into hardpoint. So, for those of you guys that might not know, Breakout Hardpoint released a map on that. Every game on that map this weekend. And it's just a little confusing because it messes up your rhythm. Something being changed so briefly before the tournament, and I don't think that every team's adjusted to it as well as they could have, and that could definitely that could be a factor here in this matchup. So both teams, it's just one hard point for the whole game, for the whole map, but it still messes with rotations and messes with setups, and it depends on what your role is, like where you're going to be. We would see Slasher post up in the top side of his hut, and then once his team gets some kills, you'll see him move towards loading. So I'm curious to see what the game is going to look like through Parasite's eyes, right? Because that's sort of the role that he's assumed for compLexity, and then the same on the side of mochilla. So I think it's going to be a bit of a battle for them, at least around the middle map hard point.
I think the biggest thing that I've seen is a lot of people from the security side, basically I think it might be the SDF spawn originally, but they attack from that side at the start, and then obviously it goes to the cell block side, so you maybe think, oh, maybe it's easier to control that side. If you can get a player just sat on the corner in the first hill at the top, just sitting in the corner, have his teammates push out docks and slay out over by the stairs, the spawn trap can keep coming in. You can rack up so much time. Like the first hill usually is exactly what they did. They capitalized on it. You can thank the plays from Exotic from sitting inside of the hill, and you can also thank Llama for that one, and then Parasite watching over top.
All right, retake coming in. compLexity's trying to take over from Allegiance here, who has the initial time in the hardpoint worlds. He's able to take down Swarley on the push, but again, Llama's host, so those close range engagements can come out on top. And in a hardpoint like this, where you really just have people sliding at you, and this is where hip firing will benefit you, this is where laser sight really comes into play. So look to see Llama do some big things here on this hill.
One out there, he's going to be able to take that. Os is going to win that one 9 times out of 10. He's Sinful trying to be just a little bit of a nuisance inside of the hill, and you're seeing the power of it, right? You're seeing why he is 6-1 and why he's on a 3-kill streak. About to overlap the Scarab. The rotations coming in. ALG going to be the first team over in ditch. Look to have a pretty nice setup so far. No lethal streaks that can come in from the side of compLexity just yet. So look for Allegiance to get some good time off this one. This is the ideal setup that you want. I'm going to stay on board with Remy right now. It's going to be sitting over here by the yellow bulldozer.
So it is most of compLexity's players pushing in through cave. Several kills going in their favor. Remy spamming that Osa, but nothing coming from it. Exotic's going to turn and burn, shutting him down. And compLexity is awarded with some hill time. That was an excellent 3-1 pinch on the hard point there, and they're awarded with some time. Allegiance now spawning out on the opposite side of cave, so that should give them even more time to just push through there and force them to spawn even further on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, definitely should. Parasite going to be the player inside the hill now. About to break 100 points, while Allegiance has yet to even break 50. It's not looking hot for them so far. It's going to be one player back in the helipad area. It's going to be Exotic. The player a lot of people might not truly know about, trying to get some revenge against his old team. Like we said, the bad blood between him and mochilla is very real. Dropped from the team. Now he's going up against them on the, this time he's going to be facing against them on compLexity. Okay, he will be taken out back there in the helipad. Control going to Allegiance once again. But like we said, they rotate early, but can they just hold this setup without compLexity breaking?
So that's Swarley, the closest one to the action, surrounded by all Allegiance players. Royalty's is going to shut him down real quick, and Sinful's going to find another kill into Exotic. And it's really just looking like a really disorganized push from compLexity. They got to get it together soon here if they want to hop on this hill, because a lot of it's just going unanswered. Legion's is racking up some time.
Yeah, it all starts with that kill right there from Parasite to open things up to try to get a distraction. Now they're going to be able to get this crucial last 20 seconds on this hill, but Allegiance was able to bring it right back. They're only down by 40 now, so what was looking like a bloodbath is slowly becoming looking more and more favorable for Allegiance. They just need to try to get a good hold on this next hill if they want to gather some momentum as they head into the future of this game.
Rotation coming in. Exotic's going to give up those last few seconds of scrap time to try and get a head start on rotating over to mid-map again. Loading a little surround here. We got one player up top in the hard point looking towards loading, so it's not really easy for him to push out. He wins the gunfight anyway. That's huge. Stays alive for just a few more seconds here. You need Exotic to stay alive here around loading. He's still keeping the pressure up on middle map. Takes down mochila. Swirly finds a kill. Exotic played that so well after that initial gunfight.
He definitely does. Swirly going to be inside the hill. He will be taken out. So a lot more contention going down on this one. But Parasite is going to decide that he's going to hop in the corner with the MV4, not challenge anything, just kind of trying to peek up and spot check, but will be taken out by the hands of Royalty. Now the overextension is going to be coming in. You see on the minimap it's going to be Swirly and Exotic trying to make something happen here, and Remy's going to be left alone, and he will be taken out. So trying to fight that 2 versus 1, you're not going to win that. The rotations coming in from both sides. Big gunfight going down up top there. It's going to be Swirly coming out on top once again. Now everything in control of compLexity.
compLexity's ready and willing. Nobody from Legion's really on the rotation yet. There we go. Now they're finally starting to come in from mid-map. 2 players going to come in from the back. 2 players cutting in from mid to this hard point. Got one compLexity player as a front line. That's Swirly waiting for him, pre-aiming, shuts down mochila, catches one player on the side for a team shot. 3 in a row going in favor of compLexity. Llama has access to that scarab, doesn't need it just yet though. He's also got access to rewind, so that could be big for him. Like I said before, this is a big part of the map for him with this Osa, and you can see it. It's reflected in the scoreboard just how much he's done on the hard point. A minute and a half, so much more time than anyone else in the lobby. Llama's really contributing a lot in the objective and the kill column for his team.
He's one of the big reasons compLexity are doing what they're doing right now. You're going to see Sinful utilize that rewind. Has the Hornet in hand, trying to track down this player who is inside the hill contesting. He is going to be able to take him out. So the last 10 seconds of this going to be going to the side of Allegiance. Now, we brought it up before, right? They had a 4-man stack over by this new ditch hard point. They were all rotated early. They had such a good setup, but the push for compLexity was just too overwhelming for the one player that was watching Cave. Are they going to replicate this one? Exotic is going to be the player that is trying to challenge it. Going to spot, turn around at the back, gets the call out from his teammate. Now it's just time to be patient and wait for his teammates to come up for the finish.
And no dead silence. They're going to hear him blasting and thrusting around the corner. They're going to turn and get that trade kill immediately. However, he knows he's still needing to push. I knew he was going to die, but that gave his team a good enough distraction to follow it up with 2 kills. So excellent trading there coming in from the rest of the compLexity roster to take an advantage off of that play. Llama as your front line with the Osa, waiting for someone to turn the corner, but Swirly catches him before they're even a threat. And now we're going to see him be the aggressor. mochila shuts him down. That's 2 kills. And the trade again coming in from Exotic, so it's efficient trading from compLexity.
If you need the mochila from the first hard point to try to make a comeback in this one, you see he's going to be rocking the K-bar, so a little bit switching there with him and Sinful. See what he's going to be able to do here, try to turn things around to keep their hopes alive. This is where we did see a turning point for Allegiance the last time on this rotations, where they really start to bring the game backwards. I mean backwards. They tried to bring the game back, so see the Commissary Hill, it's going to go right back into favor of compLexity. It's just Exotic, you can't really stop him right now. He's been the guy that you really need to watch. Him and Llama have just been doing all the work for compLexity.
It really feels like ALG's just run out of steam. They're just getting outsmarted right now. It doesn't really feel like they're doing anything too creative. It doesn't really seem like they have any crazy coordinated plays. compLexity's just playing the fundamentals of hardpoint much better. But now we're seeing a two-man flank coming in from ALG. Just as I say that they set something up to try and get a play in some hill time. It works out for them. Player 4, Llama, though, coming in from mid towards loading, is able to find himself a kill. ALG again set up. One player trying to make a hero play. He's going to get... Oh, no. Swirly actually finds the kill. Exotic catches another. Swirly finds 2. Clearing out the hard point completely by himself, and he gets the scrap time for it. So now we should see the rotation coming in towards mid again.
Parasite's going to have the FTL jump if he does not use that one. The setup, playing from the side, that is preferable. And then they have the players sitting in the corner of the hardpoint hill as well. So this is exactly what you want if you're on the side of compLexity. Parasite having himself a little bit of a party here. He's going to be over by Docs. Now he's going to be pushing forward over towards the steps. Is he going to be able to find this player? No, he is not. It's going to be Remy coming up on top in that engagement, but 230 to 131. Things are looking so good for compLexity.
Great shots from Remy there for sure. Royalty and Simple follow it up, setting up Allegiance with some awesome map pressure on middle map, spawning compLexity way far out to the left side of your mini map in the top left corner of your screen. So you can see they really only have time for one more push, but I think that most of them are going to opt to go ahead and rotate.
Yeah, this last 20 seconds, I mean, it's big for Allegiance with how much they're down, but now the biggest thing is Mochila going to be able to hold back these two players, or is the support going to come? So there's going to be one player pushing stairs. Parasite's going to be able to take out Royalty. Now Mochila has to deal with Parasite. He should know that he has an NV4, so it's going to be hard for him to win these long-range engagements. Parasite going to come up on top, and that completely opened things up again for compLexity.
Allegiance though finding the initial time on the cell block hardpoint. Llama pops the Royalty pops the low overdrive. Llama gets the shutdown on him. And Remy's going to hit the wall run flank here. Hoping to find some engagement soon. That he does. Shots in the beatdown. Connects with another kill. Going for the spray transfer on the third, and he finds it. Allegiance. They're trying to make this comeback here as compLexity is only 14 seconds away from forcing the game 5. They need to go big. They fell asleep for most of this map. But Remy starting to come to life here. He has access to the reactive armor. If he pops that and finds himself a few more kills, Allegiance is going to be in a much more viable position to come back here. He's going to have score streaks, and they're going to be, just 30 seconds behind.
This is going to be huge, and Remy needs to make sure he plays for these streaks. He can't be caught with his pants down anywhere. He needs to try to get these, because it can be huge. You're heading to the next two hills that are completely out in the open, and it can benefit you so greatly, but there's going to be one player just sitting in the corner. That is going to be Llama. Going to be taking him out. Yep, burns reactive armor, and gets taken off his streaks as well.
So now compLexity just 5 seconds away from closing out this map and forcing a game 5. No one from Allegiance is in range, just 2 players, but they're heavily outnumbered, and that's going to be a map win for compLexity. We're going to game 5, Dirk.
It was starting to look real good for Allegiance with that little hot streak that Remy was getting on. I feel like if maybe, like I said, he was taking a very big risk pushing through mid. You know somebody's going to be watching a flank somewhere, and he got taken out. It could have been a different story, especially if you have streaks going into that hill, completely open that up. So we're heading to a match number 5, like you said. It's going to be Search and Destroy on Crusher.
Search for strong Crusher. I wonder if we see the sniper come out from Mochila again, maybe to look over middle map. Some other interesting strategies we've seen on this map is when they're attacking indoors. Some people like to pull out that laser sight on some weapons. We've seen it on the ERAD. We could see it on the OSA. Llama has shown just how strong he can be throughout this series with that weapon and attachment combination. And I really like his thought process with it too. He makes that class with the OSA and the laser sight, and he plays, of course, those in-your-face kind of frontline engagements, so that when he takes out an enemy player, they're more than likely going to have a K-bar or something in their hands, right? So then he can pick that up, and now he's useful at every range. He's got essentially a glorified SMG in his hands in the form of the OSA, and then he picks up either a K-bar and NV4 for mid to long range engagements, and then he becomes useful in every situation, which is big for that middle hardpoint that we saw in Breakout. Yeah, definitely. So Search and Destroy and Crusher, at least we're going to see some variety in Search and Destroy on this map, to say the least. I mean, it's kind of a split, to be honest, from what we've seen just today from the event. There's a lot of A and B pushes. There's not just really one side that they just completely favor on the likes of the last Search and Destroy maps that we saw on Scorch. So, heading into the rig draft for this one, see if anything really changes up. Players basically just have it kind of set in stone on what they're going to be using. Parasite still opting to go with the FTL jump. And really the only difference we're seeing here is that on the side of compLexity we have reactive armor Shockwave, whereas on the side of Allegiance we have reactive armor Man at Arms. So everything else seems pretty standard here. We're actually seeing, we already mentioned the FTL jump, but in Search and Destroy, that's something that's a little popular. Parasite also rocked that in the previous map on the hard point.
I don't think it really did much for him. I didn't really see him use it. I mean, FTL jump is going to be one of those things that's kind of hard to catch unless you're on board with him and you actually see him use it. But you don't really want to just stick around him in that long just to see him teleport forward or anything like that. So.
Yeah, it's hard to catch a blink. I mean, that kind of speaks volumes to how it plays out in game too. It's something you don't expect. It's just really instant and jarring.
Yeah, so we're going to be heading into Crusher on this one. See if Llama can continue his performance. I mean, with propulsion too, we talked about this. You get a sniper in the hand of somebody, propulsion are basically just floating in the air. If you just hit a little wall run, you can just keep gliding.
Yeah, and Llama, as we said earlier, one of the more powerful players in Search and Destroy, so I'm looking forward to see what he can do in this map. I mean, we saw just how he completely took over on Scorch, outscoring everyone in the lobby by a huge margin. He was really playing on another level.
Was it 16 or 17 kills he ended with?
It was 16.
16?
16 kills. Monstrous performance from him. Really just outshining everyone in the lobby. He was always there for a trade kill for his team. And it was he's just a huge asset for his team, right? Llama was that's been Llama's strength. This is his strength in Search and Destroy.
It's going to be hard to top that performance, but as long as you win, that's really all that matters. So we're going to be jumping into this one right now after the countdown clock does go. Fox, I'm going to ask you for your prediction for this one. Who do you think takes it?
I think Allegiance this weekend has looked pretty far so good, at least today, you know, of course. So it's not a huge sample size that I'm going off of here. To me, it still kind of feels like they've run out of steam. I think that we could see compLexity take over and run and just kind of outstrap them in this S&D here.
And we'll see how it goes. And our player to watch is definitely going to be Llama from compLexity. And I think from the side of ALG, we're just going to have to watch Mochilla again. I mean, these have been sort of like the two standout guys that we've really seen from both of the teams, so it's going to be interesting to see. They're going to be opting to go with, I believe, 2 NV4s for this one. Obviously, NV4, very, very popular search and destroy weapon. That precision, and especially with the range that it has, can benefit you greatly. It's going to be curious to see what compLexity is going to do off the start of this one. It's going to be map number 5. We're actually seeing a lot of map number 5s on this Bravo stream. Usually it's just quick 3-0s all around, but we've been seeing some pretty good games so far on this lovely Friday here at MLG Las Vegas. Jumping into this one, who is going to come out on top? Exotic is going to be your bomb carrier, and it looks like they're going to be heading over to this B site. Or not.
Exotic kind of wrapping back towards A site, so I guess there is a little bit of confusion in the opening round play call here, but that's going to put a bit of a disadvantage in terms of timing. So, grenade comes out, flechette grenade separates. It's only going to tag him up a little bit. That's usually where you see things like the blast shield come into play. 2 Allegiance players just around the corner, so Exotic knows that it's not safe to plant the bomb right now. And with that trophy system being down right in front of him, he can't even throw his flechette grenade safely.
Yeah, don't want to take the risk of getting killed by your own trophy system or your teammate's trophy system. No kills been taken yet. 45 seconds left in this first round. Bomb is going to be going down from the side of compLexity. Let's see what they're going to be able to do here in a very, very good position. Time now going against Allegiance.
Bomb carrier Exotic is able to put it down, find himself a favorite position in the hallway. Sinful there, taking point, but he gets shot in the back by Swarly. Someone's got to be there for the trade for Allegiance, but no one's home. He's going to get away for it for free. Exotic finds Moch, Royalty catches Exotic, and Swarly trades over to Remy. Royalty still alive after finding 2 kills, and we've seen some highlight reel-worthy plays from Royalty on this map.
Oof.
Big kills there from him, 3 in a row. Awesome play, just 12 seconds, he has enough to defuse. And that's got to be, if you're ALG, you're really praising Royalty right now. It was an awesome play from him.
Oh, it definitely was. Picking up 3 kills in this one as well. Going to go ahead and get himself the defuse, putting him 300 away from that Trinity rocket. So Allegiance going to be taking the first round over compLexity and search and destroy on Crusher. Now they will be heading over to the offensive side. So let's see what they're going to be able to do here. And it's always love seeing the little circle for your payload just to fill up so quickly after 1 round. So close to getting overdrive already.
Yeah, I mean, with a stellar round like that, he's definitely going to see some sort of advantage come his way, and seeing these payloads and score streaks act as sort of a snowball mechanic. You want to see Royalty take full advantage of that and stay alive here. So Moch is going to be the one to put the bomb down. No one from compLexity is home, though. They're all swarming towards A bomb site. They started the rotation early as they pushed through and realized no one was there. They're setting up for a 2-2 pinch onto this B bomb site. However, Allegiance has seen this before. They're already set up. They have their crossfire ready, but they're working at a man advantage.
And we're going to see Llama doing some work with the OSA once again. Going to be able to pick up 1, but the players from Allegiance are going to come around, find him in a sticky situation, 2 versus 1. Going to be able to clean that one on taking the first 2 rounds. Remy going to be the player in your final kill cam with the help of Royalty. Taking him out. Took roughly 6 hits to take him out. Round number 3. Coming up next.
So it was a great pinch from compLexity there after the push kind of just failed. It was kind of one of just those 50-50 situations. They called the play at A. They thought that they would see some competition at A, just like in round 1 for offense. But Allegiance just completely switched it up and went to B site instead. So reading that immediately, they set up for the pinch. They understood what was going on right away. They just weren't able to take them on the retake to the site.
Mochila going to be the player from Allegiance drawing first blood. That was going to be on Swirly. Favoring this B site once again. It's going to be Llama taking out Mochila. Kills going to be traded all around. Sinful taking out Exotic. Llama taking out Sinful, and everything going down. But Allegiance is going to come out on top once again. Looking so strong so far in the search and destroy.
Yeah, Allegiance is starting off real hot here. I mean, 3-0 lead is pretty huge for them. We saw the misdirection of going from A site your first offensive round to switching up your offensive strategy for the second offense. Not many teams do that. Some of them will just keep doing their normal execute and then just like make slight variations of it. We can see the Allegiance playbook opening up here.
Yep. Trophy system going to go down. It's going to be Remy dropping that. The flip-chats are going to be coming in. There's going to be one player right outside of the door here. Let's see how they opt to do this one. It's going to be Sinful picking up first blood. Royalty's going to follow that up with a kill of his own. And then another one coming in for Royalty. Starting to heat up a little bit. Has that overdrive already, 7-1. And Allegiance just making slight work of compLexity so far.
See, here it is. I was saying that it seemed like Allegiance was running out of steam. And I think this 4-0 lead is more than enough to get that momentum right back into their hands and close out the map. compLexity needs to shut that down and respond with something soon because they are in deep trouble.
They definitely are. Things not looking good for them. But we know in Search and Destroy, it's never over until it hits round 6. Can keep on going forever. So let's see what's going to go down here. Exotic going to be picking up the bomb once again. Parasite currently 0-4. Let's see if he's going to be able to get anything rolling with the OSA. First blood going to go in favor of compLexity. I think for the first time in the entire match. They're going to go ahead, overextend all the way through. Players going to be coming around on the flank for Allegiance.
So decision to push through A here from compLexity. Wrap all the way over to B. They got one player sitting behind them watching the flank. He's going to be met by 2 players, Sinful and Remy here. Sinful's able to catch him. A little bit of timing there as he catches Swirly and is able to shut him down. The bomb should be going down at the moment for compLexity. Exotic still want to do it. Access to rewind. Sinful's going to pop it after finding his kill. No trade coming in. And 2 kills go in favor of Allegiance. Parasite's left in a 1 versus 2. No kills on the board, and it's going to stay that way. Allegiance gets their 5th round, and they're 1 round away from closing out the series in Game 5, Dirk.
That was perfectly executed right there. I mean, like we always say, when you have 2 players left last live, group up, play sort of like the buddy system. Sinful, Mochila played that one so perfect, and now they're 1 round away from taking this best-of-5 series against compLexity. Mochila going to be in your final kill cam, taking out Parasite right there. Pre-aiming, getting the first shot on him as well. Going to be heading over to the offensive side, so let's see if compLexity can try to turn this around, trying to make a full sale happen of their own.
Not quite the prestige of a full sale kind of situation, but we are seeing Moch. Bomb in hand for his team. He's actually going to double back here. I'm not entirely sure what the pathing is looking like for them at the moment. Maybe just getting the information from player 7 and player 8 on your mini-map, Sinful and Remy, towards that B bomb site. Moch is able to find 2 kills on the flank with the bomb. The bomb carrier is doing a lot of the damage. And he's finally taken down by Exotic there, but Royalty finding the trade. And Royalty, as we said earlier, has been a big part of this map. Currently 8-2. About to make it 9-2 as one player escapes his sights. That's actually gonna be Parasite, I'm sorry, that was trying to stop Royalty, but the overdrive was popped. He's able to get away free.
He definitely is. See if he's going to be able to work some magic here. Definitely seen it from Parasite in the past, but that bomb is going to be going down. He's going to be able to spot one on the rock. Is he going to win this gunfight? No, he is not. It's going to be Allegiance, the 6-0 on compLexity. That's all it took, was just 6 rounds. Allegiance comes out on top. Royalty, with the help of Sinful, going to be in your final kill cam, taking out Parasite there. Left all alone out to dry. Was expecting a little bit more of a competitive search and destroy, but we always don't get what we want.
Allegiance today has really been showing up this tournament, shutting out both the likes of Luminosity Gaming and compLexity, which I think most people would predict against this team, but Allegiance is really showing up to play. And I mean, they're definitely impressing me. We've seen Mochila have such a consistent performance throughout the series, Royalty really coming to life in that last map there, and ending in just a spectacular way for them. But guys, that's going to do it for this series as Allegiance takes the victory in Game 5. So we can go ahead and recap what's going on today on Bravo. We saw things start off with Rise Nation 3-0ing the likes of Revenge, who isn't having a great start to their weekend. Team Envious able to shut out Gosu, as most people would have predicted, the best team in the world, facing off against a team of sort of up-and-coming amateur players. They're going to hit him with the 3-0. But then Gosu getting actually our second upset of the weekend, able to beat FaZe Clan 3-2, taking those S&Ds, actually taking a hard point off of FaZe as well in a dominating fashion. Next up, we had Cloud9 versus Echo Fox. This was a match that I think you casted. And you could probably give me a better recap as to what happened in that map.
It was insane. Basically, if we just want to jump straight to Game 5, it came down to a Pat Price nasty rewind play. I don't think it was a 1 versus 3, but he picked up a pretty nasty 3-piece. But it was just kind of like a back-and-forth series the entire time. It was kind of shocking for me for Echo Fox. I didn't think they were going to be able to compete too well with Cloud9, but they took it right down to the wire. Almost got reverse swept though on Cloud9, which is it would have happened to them twice today if they would have lost that series.
Yeah, and it's really interesting because for me, the match between Cloud9 and Echo Fox, I mentioned this in my my Vegas predictions video, that it would really come down to, does Echo Fox's stellar preparation for this tournament outperform the talent, the sheer talent and strength of the Cloud9 roster? Because I think that we can all agree, Echo Fox has had much higher quality and much higher frequency of practice than Cloud9 since Infinite Warfare's release. So that was definitely an interesting match.
A lot of Cloud9's practice just consisted of, man, this is garbage, I'm done.
And a lot of Modern Warfare Remastered there. So Echo Fox staying dedicated to the grind on Infinite Warfare. I think it's paying off. They're impressing some people this weekend, so we got to look to see if they can continue it and maybe come out on top in this pool play here and make it into that winners bracket for the first time in an MLG event in the past year or so. So you see on screen here.